I really actually, I know like when you go down the list of like all the trades and all the moves and everything, it takes you a while to get to DeWanna Bonner, but her going to Indiana is, I mean, with what they now have, they already had a team. They got a team.
No, Zora, this was like, and this dropped what, like maybe 24 hours ago, as of when we're recording this podcast.
Yeah.
I love this. DeWanna Bonner was almost, I wouldn't say she like went under the radar for Connecticut this year because she didn't, but like because they had so much, like Dejanay Carrington had a huge season for Connecticut. Obviously, Alyssa Thomas, Bree Jones was massive. Like DeWanna Bonner just consistently showed up and got hers. She's 7 points away from becoming the third all-time leading scorer in WNBA history. She's a veteran who's won a championship before in Phoenix. Actually, I think she's won 2 titles in Phoenix. And you're bringing her to a relatively young Fever team still, and she's played for Stephanie White. So she understands what Steph White wants in that system. That's a huge bonus for a coaching from a coaching perspective, and also obviously having her just as a veteran on a team. Like she's going to like let Caitlin be Caitlin. Can you imagine the starting 5 with Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, DeWanna Bonner, Aaliyah Boston, plug and play? We'll see who else can kind of fit in there, but my goodness, this is a scary team. First off, everyone can shoot from 3.
Yes.
Like, how do you, and then you got Leah Boston on the inside. I mean, how are you going to guard them? I love this Fever team. I'm all in. And the DeWanna Bonner trade sealed it for me.
Yeah. And that's what I was going to say. Natasha Howard will probably be in the starting lineup. And because I was talking to my husband about it, and I was like, the matchups for that, who's going to be able to guard them, because you're going to have probably Leah at the 5, Natasha at the 4, DeWanna at the 3, who is a mismatch every single night at the 3, Kelsey at the 2, Caitlin at the 1. Mm-hmm. I mean,
and you got Lexi Hole coming off the bench, who like was shooting it at like 60% from 3 at one point in the second half.
And her defense is super important. The hustle plays, and now you got Sophie Cunningham, who's a microwave as well. Who I don't know what Steph White's going to do with the lineups, but that just all the firepower that they have on that team. Shout out to Amber Cox too, and everybody with the Fever.
Talk about coming in hot.
Yeah, they know what they're doing, and I love how they re-welcomed Kelsey Mitchell. With the entire staff, right? And Caitlin, like that stuff matters, right? It's humans at the end of the day. And so I just really appreciate how much they're loving on who they've got there in Indiana.
And I do want to give shout out also because Kelsey Mitchell going into last season, like she had been the franchise player for the Fever and she had the ball in her hands the whole entire time. And I wasn't sure how she was going to fit with Caitlin Clark when Clark came onto the roster, but those two became so good together and played off of each other and were unselfish. It was a really special dynamic to see them as a backcourt together.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. And it could have went a lot of different ways. And shout out to Kelsey Mitchell for embracing all that. No, I'm not just talking about Caitlin, but all that comes with her too. 100%. Anywhere else you want to go with the?
And let me chime in. I think it was great from the front office to make it a huge welcoming, almost like a welcome back for Kelsey Mitchell, and almost like a re-signing situation for her. I think hers was more impressive than any team I've but this free agency, like no other free agent got treated the way Kelsey Mitchell did by the Indiana Fever when she returned from overseas. Nobody. Not that we saw. I mean, front and center, posters up, front office coaches, your point guard there waiting for you, speech ceremony. Like, it was amazing. And just, it shows you how much, and it shows, not us, it shows Kelsey Mitchell. Hey, you're very important to us. You're our number 1 free agency option right now. We want you. We want you to stay here. You deserve it. You've been through the ins and outs with this organization, and now we're going to give you everything you deserve. We're going to give you everything you deserve. You have your point guard. You have your center. And guess what? Now you got your 3 guards, your defensive players, and your 4 guard. And a new head coach. Thank you for being here with us, Kelsey Mitchell, and staying down and staying loyal to the Indiana Fever organization. That is what's important. Kelsey Mitchell's name's not getting thrown around right now, which I love because the free agency is going crazy. But hey, Kelsey Mitchell is a huge part of this whole situation with Caitlin Clark and the rest of this Fever team. The chemistry is going to be there with this team. The playoff experience is going to be there with this team. The vibes will be there. The content will be there. They got Coulson. You know how she is with her comedy. And then nothing less. They're going to work hard. This is now a championship organization. This isn't the Fever from 4 or 5 years ago. This is the championship organization Fever right here. And then they got that facility. I can't stop talking about that damn facility, man. Like, I definitely want to go down there and check that facility out and get some runs in or whatever the case is, if that's a thing, if that will ever be possible when I show my credentials. That would be amazing. That would be absolutely amazing. Like, if I can go get a tour or something like that of the facility, that would be amazing, man. I'm honest. So, yeah. But, yeah, look, DeWanna Bonner, we know what she's going to come in and do. And the rest of the girls, you know. And like I said, having talent around you, having ball players around you elevates your game. Watch how Kelsey Mitchell balls out. Again, look how Caitlin Clark is going to ball out this year. Caitlin Clark got real talent around her. She about to ball out like crazy. And then you got just vibes. I'm telling you, there's going to be so many vibes in that locker room. Ain't nobody else in the WNBA is going to have these vibes. You have Sophie Cunningham, Coulson, Caitlin Clark, Lexi Hall, Kelsey Mitchell, who's funny. You got Natasha Howard and Bonner. Bonner's more of like a real strict pro. She kind of looks like she's like a real pro. But that's good. They need that. Keep them in check. And then you got AB. Bow. You know what I'm saying? So vibes are going to be immaculate. And that's what helps teams. That's why I keep telling you, when you look at the NBA, look at the teams with vibes. Like, and I was listening to Jeff T's podcast. He was saying this. Like, and I'm saying my teams, the Orlando Magic got dumb vibes. That's why they're beating teams' ass. The Cavs, crazy vibes. The Rockets vibes are immaculate. They're dancing and woo woo. The Grizzlies, dumb vibes. The Celtics, vibes. The Knicks, crazy vibes. The Knicks got crazy vibes. The Thunder, I mean, their vibes are untouchable. But when you look at teams like the Lakers, they got no vibes. Lakers got no vibes, bro. Like, stiff. You ain't gonna win games like you stiff. Y'all need to have vibes, bro. So this team right here, this Indiana Fever team, they didn't have no vibes at the beginning of the season. They got this young point guard. They don't really know how to play with her. She don't know how to play with them. Team's beating their ass. They're losing ball games. The energy's thrown off. The locker room energy's thrown off. This year, bro, they're going into the league with straight vibes. Superstar vibes. Like, their energy and off the fan base alone and all the media attention they're about to start getting, dude, they're gonna walk around like they the shit. The vibes are gonna be immaculate. I'm telling you. This is gonna be crazy. And I think this year is about the vibes in the Indiana Fever. The vibes. Keep the locker room tight. Keep the vibes here. The vibes. So if you can't come vibe, don't come here. And I think they made that very, very clear to the front office. Hey, we got vibes in here. We that young group. We the underdogs. We going up and we popping veterans and championship teams and caliber coaches. And we had Chrissy Sides. We had Chrissy Sides. No disrespect to Chrissy Sides. I love you, girl. But hey, we got vibes. We got a girl in Stephanie White, a coach in Stephanie White who used to play ball. We got vibes. Coach Stephanie White going to be in practice with y'all. Vibing. We have real vibes. Indiana Fever, man. Championship 2025. We'll catch you on the next one. I'm out.